Hey, thanks again for tuning into another episode of the Conversation Podcast here at Mccurdy's Comedy Theater. Our guest today is Carmen Ciricillo. He's our headliner. He's played our club many times, also known as the construction comic. Very funny Italian dude out of Cleveland. Definitely check this guy out. Very funny. Got a huge following on Facebook. And he's been making moves in the industry, man. I know you're going to love him. And also our feature act and our second guest was also Devin Seibold. He is a local Florida comic, definitely making a name for himself. One of the funniest guys in Florida. He's been killing it. And this was actually a short podcast this time. Both these guys had other things to do, and that's what it is. That's what the green room conversation is. We try to do it as naturally as possible, and we don't force anybody to stay on the podcast. And so they had to go prepare for their sets. Carmen was working on some new material, and Devin was getting in the zone. Both of them had great sets that night, and they're very, very funny guys, and we talked about a lot of different things. We still had a decent podcast, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. Thanks.
Welcome to the conversation.
We're live. We live? We're live. So it's a conversation at Mccurdy's Comedy Theater. We're in the green room, and Devin Seibold is right over there. Say hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
That's what he sounds like.
That is me.
He's, and you do have one of those voices that doesn't, I don't think, represents the way you look.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Yeah.
Isn't that wild when you see when you hear someone on the radio for years and years and years, and you just have this picture in your head of what they are, and they're just not even close.
Quite literally on the radio, on podcasts, and people that meet me that know me from that stuff go, this is nothing like what I pictured. But it's usually usually not a bad. There's you ever see like radio jocks sometimes, and you're like, whoa. You're like, whoa.
Oh yeah.
You're like, I didn't realize you look like that. It's almost like what homeless guy wandered into this concert, and then you go, oh no, that's the radio DJ.
That's the guy that has the morning show.
Yeah.
Really?
You never. It's luckily not one of those like shocked, like, oh man, he's homeless, but I'm a gigantic person, and I don't really think that.
Your voice doesn't sound like a big guy.
No, not at all.
And there's a bunch of little guys that have those big booming, deep voices, and you expect this 6'3".
Those guys are weirder though. They're like overcompensating for something, Like,
well, yeah.
The little guys with the big voice.
Trying to attract the women.
Yeah.
Just have it.
They're the ones that want to call the woman after the first, They're like, hey, what's your number? Why don't you just text? I'd rather call. I'm 5'2". I'd rather call.
That's good. Oh man.
But being 6'6", I don't need the commanding voice.
No.
People generally listen if I ask something.
Yeah. There's a lot of big guys that don't have big guy voices.
Right. Shaq not being one of them. Shaq has the deepest voice.
He does.
And it's just
he's always got that old Barry White kind of thing going.
He sounds exactly how he looks. Like,
But Mike Tyson, on the other hand, you would make fun of a person that sounded like that.
Yes.
That's why he got jacked and started beating people up, I think. Yeah.
But then you meet him, and or you see him on TV, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
I would not mess with that man.
No. Be best in the world. Best in the world.
Yeah. It has to be with that voice.
You have to be, yeah.
Absolutely.
Make up for it.
Absolutely. That big voices, I mean, it's when Louis C.K. was here, it was interesting watching all the shows that he had two headliners opening for him. I mean, great acts, both of them, and then had actually a host too. And boy, Louis got one of those voices that just it's a baritone kind of voice, and it's rich. And I never thought about that with him. I never really, until you compared it to the other three in front of him.
Yeah.
And when he just started talking, it just filled the room up. In a way that those other three voices didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just commands the room. But it's just it's just a gift that he has.
Have you had Gilbert here before?
Godfrey?
Yeah.
One time.
One time. Now, that's a night and day stage to off stage voice.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize he's a switch it on kind of guy. You know.
Yeah.
He has to switch on that voice, and when I first met him, you know, he was on stage, and I was his middle, and then I went up, and I didn't get a chance to talk to him between, and he came off stage, and he comes up to me, he goes, Devin, you were very pleasant tonight, and I was like,
yeah,
well, are you pulling something on me? And he's like, no, it's very pleasant to work with you. I really enjoy your set. And
he's still got the quality of that voice in his voice, but it's not.
He's not yelling.
That exaggerated.
Way down.
Oh, of course.
How weird would it be if he was like, Devin!
Yeah.
I love your set. You know, it's so
and just
awkward.
to talk like that in person, I mean, what would you feel? If I was him, though, I mean, I'd order at McDonald's that way through the drive-thru, you know, just to throw him off. Like, is that the parrot from
got a very iconic
Aladdin
voice.
that wants a number 4?
Yeah.
You know?
Nobody'd think it was really him in a million years. And you know, I don't know, you know, how immediately recognizable he is to a lot of people. I mean, there are people that, I mean, he's been out there enough that know what he looks like, but I think there's a ton of people that don't know what he looks like. They just know
the voice
from the cartoons and the Aflac duck.
Right.
And they've never really seen him because they've never gone and looked at a special that he was on.
And then they're surprised at how dirty he is.
Oh, not just dirty.
Yeah.
Dark.
Dark, yeah.
Dark and dirty. Yeah,
really dark,
that was the thing with him with us was that, and that was one of those that I've had two situations, him and Tracy Morgan, where the agents did not prepare us for how not just dirty but bizarre dirty that they were going to be, and that was a bummer because it was not what people expected, including me. And if I had known that, like Bob Saget, if you know that and you can prepare your audience for it, they're fine with it.
Yeah.
But when they don't know it just blindsides them. And it's weird how an audience, when they know that this act is bizarre or filthy or dark or whatever, super edgy, the same audience can enjoy it from the get-go.
Right.
But if you blindside them, you know, and they think they're getting a Disney character,
right?
You know, or they think they're getting the guy from Saturday Night Live, and it's not.
Right.
It just they'll flip.
Oh yeah.
You know, they'll flip, and it's
entertaining.
So, yeah,
because
it's not the act's fault.
No,
it's
as
the
a
representation's fault for not setting them up well.
Right. I like I said, I opened for him, and after the second show, you know, when he's getting to his dark stuff, I would start to pay more attention to the audience because you could see the tables that weren't ready.
Yes.
You know, they just weren't ready. And the second that he jumped into, you know, a pedophilia joke or something, I mean, that table, whoop.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there just looks back and forth like, Janet, did you know? You know? And
what did you bring us to?
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
You know? And then the dirty feeling that I got to go to church after this moment, you know?
No.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing when you see like those spontaneous open mics that the whole family came in and then they're like, why are they setting up speakers and stuff? Like, are they doing karaoke night? And they have no idea what they're getting into.
Right.
You know, you watch that table freak out and they realize they're right up front for a comedy show and they didn't even plan for it, you know?
And sometimes the best is when you have a comic that brings his friends and family out and they'd never seen him before. They're blue as can be. And then you get to see the uncomfortable smiles from mom and the nodding of, I still love you, but what are you doing right now? You know? Those are the best. There's a lot of those moments early in comedy.
Yeah, I love it.
I prepared my people. But my mom died before she ever got to see me do stand-up. She got to see me do theater. She got to see me in plays. But I remember when my grandmother came the first time, and she picks a fucking Friday late show, you know, at the Comedy Catch in Chattanooga. And I told her, I said, come to the early show. She said, it's just not going to work. I need to come to the late show. And I was like, okay. But I said, and at the time we were doing a lot of improv. There was 3 of us, and we did about 30, 40 minutes of stand-up. Each one of us doing 10, 15 minutes to kind of sell that we're funny. And then the second half of the show was all improv. All improv structures and improv games.
Yeah.
Well, the nature of improv is the nature of what the audience is.
Right.
Night.
Yeah, you got to feed off.
You're feeding off the audience, and you're going with their suggestions and da da da. And I told her, I said, man, Friday late shows, it'll get rough.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, it'll get.
Yeah.
And of course, it did. And it was a motherfucker. Fuck. I don't think we said cunt. We said everything else.
At that point, your grandmother wishes you would.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
She was she was with my aunt and her daughter, and my aunt was a little, she was the one and she's sweet as she can be, but she doesn't want to hear that shit,
right?
And but my grandmother goes, hey, I totally enjoyed it, and I said, well, okay, I just was worried about the language. She goes, son, we've been doing it longer than you've been saying it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the thing that people are always. Younger comics are always pleasantly surprised with our crowds.
They're great.
That you'll walk out and sometimes you walk out there and there's on a weekday night 150 or 200 in there, and I mean it's a sea of gray hair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean 70% of it, and they're just. People go, I got to work cleaner. No.
That's actually how I did so well in the World Series of Comedy, because I was one of the last comics up, and everybody was doing cleaner, and the crowd wasn't really responding. And somebody threw in like a mildly suggestive joke, and suddenly they lit up. And I said, I got to change my set. They don't want this. They don't want Disney. They want edgy. Right. So I went edgy and killed that set, and I had a great time. Yeah,
absolutely. I've told people before that Carmen Ciricillo, our headliner, just set in, pull up the mic there, say hello.
Hello, Mike Stevens.
That's him. That's Carmen. We opened this up by the fact that Devin started talking. I said, you're one of those guys that doesn't have a voice that looks like you.
What does that mean?
Well, he doesn't. His voice doesn't have a quality of being a big person.
Right.
And
who, him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about me.
No.
We are now.
No, yeah, we are.
What do I have a voice that looks like?
An Italian guy from Cleveland.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It fits?
It fits perfectly.
Oh, I thought you said I don't have a voice.
No, you do.
That fits.
No, yeah.
Your voice.
You're good. You're good.
But for comedy purposes, his is better.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Right?
I could have picked your voice out of a lineup, having never known.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because
I said Nick DiPaolo. I would have said Nick DiPaolo voice.
Okay.
And you got a Nick DiPaolo voice.
Yeah.
You know who could do my voice instantly is Timmy Wilkins. He could do my voice so well that he would trick my wife.
Okay.
She was not
He
happy.
can do my voice pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good at
is.
Pissing off wives.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's cool. Yeah, we were just talking about older crowds, not especially. Everybody thinks, they want clean, and they want professional.
Oh yeah,
they just want a good show.
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't give a shit if you're clean or
Yeah.
dirty.
Why? Is there a concern?
No concern.
Someone has an old person's gig? What's an old person's gig down here?
Villages.
The Villages.
That's really? You
Yeah.
think that's an old person's gig?
Not really. It's not super old.
I did a podiatrist office in the Villages. It's very old.
It is.
The podiatrist office was.
I've got some friends that have moved there,
man,
and they absolutely love it.
I hate
Yeah.
it. I hate it. It's a nightmare.
I would.
Really?
I don't think it's me.
I hate it, man.
I couldn't do it.
I brought my son to a gig. I was doing a gig up there, right? I brought my son, my wife. We're in the hotel room. We're looking down on like 90 yellow vested like ducks. They look like ducks going into the water. They were doing some type of team event, and my son was like, he looked at that. It was as scary as anything he'd ever seen. He wanted to leave so fast. I go, this is what people do at the end of their life, buddy. And I had kind of built it up as a cult.
Right.
Because I had done it 20 years ago when I met the guy that built the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Right? So he's showing me this map of all the land they've acquired. You know, like
Yeah.
when Disney not stole, but they snuck away people's parcels.
Yeah.
You know, by not using the correct name and all that.
Right.
They did the same thing at the villages.
Really?
They were able to acquire, right? And then this one guy who wouldn't sell out, they had him on the map. And they had all the lines. He couldn't get out of his house. You know, and I thought, wow, man.
Wow.
Did they leave him there?
I don't know. This was probably 15 years ago.
Do you remember? Do you ever work Atlantic City?
It's been like 5 years.
There used to be. There was a woman when they built the Strip. Same thing. There was a woman in a little house that would not sell out.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they literally built the casino over the top
Yeah.
of her house. And it was back. This was back in the 80s, but it was there.
Yeah,
she
they-
was still
they
alive. She's
stole
not alive anymore.
The
but-
house always wins.
Yeah.
But they stole their air rights,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You know, no
Yes.
kites, no balloons.
Exactly.
What the
Exactly.
You can't fly nothing over the house now, man. You don't even own your own air over the house. Come on, man.
You wouldn't be mad about that 15 years ago, but you'd be mad now that we have drones and stuff. You'd be like, I
Yeah.
kind of want to
Yeah.
fly a drone now.
Yeah.
I never knew about those air rights until a friend of mine here in town, who's a big developer, banker, all that kind of stuff, attorney, and he was talking about an area down around downtown here where he did not own the property, but somehow he got the air
Wow.
rights.
Wow.
I go, how the fuck
Right.
can that even happen?
Lawyers,
It's incredible.
they're so sneaky.
What do they want the air rights for, though? It's so weird.
When you go up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like as an example, you own a condo on the 10th story on Siesta Key. Hurricane knocks it down. Guess what you owned? Air.
Ah.
You owned air. You know, and it's like, well, how do you recoup air?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You own a point on a GPS. That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Before you were born, Northport was cheap. And nobody wanted that property. And underwater property was even less valuable, and they were selling it. You know, you remember that whole general development?
Oh, of course.
They were flying people over. And
Yeah.
people were buying shit from the air.
Well, that
But it
was
turns
what-
out the people who bought that underwater property ended up selling it back to the county at crazy prices because they needed drainage.
Ah.
So they still won.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it took them 40 years. Who
Yeah.
the hell wants to wait?
Yeah, that was the running joke about Florida back 50 years ago, was that they were selling swampland, saying it was going to be developed one day. You know, that was the thing when people.
And it
would
was.
come down.
Because I remember
Yeah.
driving
Actually did.
41 all the way down, you know,
Yep.
when there was orange groves and wooden signs that said buy property in Florida.
Yeah.
Right? And people ignored it.
Yeah.
I still think right now, man. How old are you?
27, 28.
You could be multi-millionaire by the time you're 80.
By the time I'm 80.
I don't have a lot of hope in you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm saying if you're that young.
That's when I cash
but
out.
if you bought now,
Yeah.
even in this market in Sarasota, where else?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been all over the country, some parts of the world, and you know that Sarasota
Is never gonna.
Yeah.
is
It's
never
lose
going down
value.
in value.
Right.
No, no, no.
The only thing you have to watch is the sea
Climate
level
change.
rise.
Yeah, that might. But
You
you
know.
you own the air.
You got to come inland. See, I'm about 4 blocks bayside, and see, I figured I'll be beachfront.
Right. You'll be good.
That's good.
Yeah.
When my daughter inherits it, she'll be beachfront.
Yeah, exactly.
Okeechobee will be valuable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know. But
Yeah. No, not
I just
right
like saying it. Not going
I
there.
know.
Okeechobee.
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 Drive through there. Oh, man.
Indian Town, Okeechobee. That's a different kind of Florida there, brother.
That's real Florida?
Yes, it is.
Belglade?
Yes, it is.
When you see prisons out in the middle of, and you go, man, I'm lucky. I don't care what happens to me. I am lucky. Arcadia Correctional Facility, right?
Yes.
I drive by that all the time. Like, I am lucky that I'm just not in there. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because who knows?
Right.
Just be glad no matter where you're at if you're not in prison.
Yes. Yes. And
You know-
there's people that are more comfortable in prison than out of prison. That's the thing that is crazy to me.
Well, here's
there's a
what
whole
pisses-
segment of society.
Here's what pisses me off about guys in prison. They got all their hair. I'm like, are you high? What did you think was so valuable in life to steal? You got a whole head of hair. You don't even know what you got. I hate to see a prisoner with good hair. It hurts. just doesn't know anything.
Oh man, that's right. You have prison hair. That's
I got shit hair. I got community. I don't even know what the hell I got. Community service hair.
Has anybody in here ever been in jail at all?
No.
Yes.
Yes. One night.
One night.
DUI?
No. Stupid fight and misunderstanding by the police.
Miscommunication.
Absolutely. They were wrong.
Totally
Wrong,
a miscommunication.
right?
Everybody listening to this podcast heard your voice and said he's been in jail for
At least it was only one night. That kind of shows you something. I learned my lesson.
Me too. I'll tell you what, I sat in there that one night in a drunk tank in Memphis, and I thought about how many times I'd heard guys say, oh, you just got to do short time, like a year or something. A year? I'm sitting there that night. I'm going, I wouldn't want to be in this motherfucker for 36 hours.
Not at all.
No.
And you know what? It wasn't the other people in the cell. It was the fucking guards that worried me.
Right?
Yeah, look.
That's the
Nobody cares about you in prison.
no.
All right, guys.
All right. Have a good show.
Les is gonna go up. We'll do like a tight 45, something like that.
Yeah. Or maybe.
Hour maybe.
It's Thursday. There's no second show, so
Yeah.
we might get 60
good.
out of him.
We gotta get some time in. I gotta work this night. Gotta get my reps in tonight.
Yeah, what's
A lot of
going
new
on?
material.
How was last night?
Good?
Yeah?
It's good, but I have this new bit that I'm doing that is scary.
Scary.
Yeah, because it's
Scary for you or scary for the audience?
Both. It's about my father getting shot and killed.
Oh,
So this is a whole new. How do I make this funny?
holy
I've been
shit.
fleshing this thing out.
Is it funny?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it is. If I told you the story without being on stage, without the pressure of an audience,
Yeah,
you'd
yeah.
probably go, "What the fuck?" I don't even have it completely fleshed out.
Right.
This is a 40-year-old story.
Holy shit. Yeah.
So I'm trying to bring this out also with. I'm kind of walking the edge on this.
Yeah.
There's a danger here with the society and with my family because they're still alive.
Yeah, they might
So
not
the shit
appreciate
that I
it.
say,
Yeah.
I'm already putting shit online that they don't like.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'm revealing too much. The whole. I'm not kidding. Don't you have anyone in your family that says, "Keep your mouth shut"?
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I have this all the time.
What kind of family are you guys part of? What do you mean?
Are you
Well, I
Italian?
mean, if you no, I'm not Italian.
Like,
No.
keep your, keep your
the
fucking
other-
mouth shut.
Oh yeah.
My
It's worse
ex-wife
than
is,
that.
my ex-wife's Colombian and Puerto Rican.
Okay.
And she actually tried to put in the divorce papers that every time I make a joke about her, I'd be fined $250 per joke.
Well,
Wow.
that's the
That's
evil
worth it.
Latino
It is.
women. I mean, I
Yeah.
love them before the divorce, but after you're fucked. Don't even go near their family, them, knives.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
can
like,
see the passion, right?
did that work? Did she
No,
really try to?
that's
yeah.
not legal.
Wait, let me
I was
ask you
about to
something.
say.
How long were you married to her?
3 years.
So you got really 9 years of passion comparatively if you would have married like an American girl.
Right. Exactly.
It was such a hot. It burned
Yeah.
so fucking hot.
Right in
Burned
all
out.
once.
Yeah.
It's some type of metal that burns a lot quicker and a lot faster than normal stone. That's what you married.
Yeah.
A chemistry experiment. That's what you had in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Your chemistry experiment in your bedroom. Yeah. That sounds about right.
Unfortunately, I wasn't good with mixing things.
Oh shit.
Wait, so
And,
did she
blew
only dislike your bits before you got divorced or after?
It was after. The thing she did before is I had jokes about past dating and other women, and
Yeah.
she wanted all those changed to be about her.
Oh, so
And
just
then-
a narcissist. Yeah.
And then once we split, then it was, no, you can't write any new material about me.
oh,
So
Yeah.
which
That's-
inspires you to write all the
yeah,
material about her?
she said jokes, and so I just basically go on stage and talk shit about her, not make it funny. And then she was like, "You owe me $250." No, nobody laughed at that. That's not a joke.
That sounds
Yeah,
like
it's just-
like an Al-Anon or a divorce Al-Anon or don't they have a marriage support group?
Something. Yeah.
That's some funny ass shit. Right
I need to go to that.
They probably do have that. I always thought there should be a support group for the spouses of comedians.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, maybe she would
The
have
time
benefited
away
from that.
and-
The ex-spouses or like the current?
No, man. Oh, anyone who wants to go, because you're
It's
scarred.
hard. It's hard to be a spouse of a comedian.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. You know, the time away, and plus, if you think about it, and I don't know if you ever thought of it, but comedy is erotic. It's one of the, like, for women especially, one of the
Really?
things that turns them on is
What?
a man that can make them laugh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. A man that can make them laugh. is
Right,
one
but
of the
it might
sexiest
not come
traits
out
in
of
the
a
world.
comedian's mouth.
No, but you're giving that to
A hot
to
guy that can make you
150
laugh is a
women.
lot better
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
some
true,
fucking,
true.
you know, guy
Yeah.
that has a Napoleon complex.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why he became a comic.
But still, I mean, you look at guys like Mitch Patel, and they've got, you know,
Yeah.
amazing women. I mean, like,
Yeah.
a lot of these...
Prior to his fame?
No. After.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the comedy, well, I don't know.
Chicks
I don't
like
know prior.
cash.
Yeah.
So Mitch Patel Cash is just as good
Yeah.
as fucking that fat guy that died Cash.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever his name was, the funny motherfucker that was doing the black voice.
Oh,
The big guy.
Ralphie?
Ralphie May.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch. Who wants to sleep with him?
No, yeah. You
She-
can sleep on
she's
him.
Pretty. Yeah. But he
I'm
had a lot
just
of money.
saying, man.
He's like a bed.
He had a lot of
That
money,
guy
though.
was funny as shit.
He was
had
funny as
money,
fuck.
but attractive wise,
Yeah.
He used
no.
To,
Does it cover up?
No.
I mean, no. Yeah.
did you ever work with him?
No.
I used to open for him.
Really?
Yeah, all over. He had a weird pattern too. He had a bag full of money, about $100 grand.
Oh, he
would
was
just
like
keep cash.
like
because-
cash money millionaire.
Yeah,
right?
I think it was because at the time he was going through a divorce, and I think he just wanted to keep it off the books. But he had $100 grand
That's
cash
what,
that he would just float in the green room, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
Money changes everybody.
That's what Floyd Money Mayweather would do. He would
Yeah.
carry around $100,000 in a duffel bag and spend
He told
it.
me a great story though. He said that he was in the green room at one of the LA comedy clubs.
Mhm.
He said Tosh had just signed his re-up for Tosh.0. He said Tosh came in and
You mean
showed
Tosh that I had at Geckos
Yeah,
in '92?
the Daniel Tosh. Yeah. Tosh.0.
I know.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
I've been around for 30 years.
Yeah.
And Tosh came in. He had a $250,000 keys to his new car. He's like, he's showing it off, and was like, yeah, I got this. I got, 250 grand. And Ralphie said, I would toss my keys at you. He said, but they're in the hands of my driver in my $1.2 million bus. And he's like, shut Toss up pretty quick. He was like, yeah, you got a lot more money than me.
That's crazy.
You know what, though, money, though, after a while, it's not the thing.
No, it's not the thing at all.
It is for security, for children, for diapers, for food.
Mm-hmm.
But as you get older, you don't need that much.
No.
No?
You don't need that much cash. You don't need that big of a place anymore.
No.
You don't need to impress nobody. And it's a beautiful feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the freedom.
Now you're relaxed. Now you're not trying to prove everything. And then
Yeah.
you find out who really loves your ass.
Yeah.
You know, and not that many people do, by the way.
Yeah, you
Very
think
few
so.
people love you.
Yeah.
Very few.
Very few.
I love more than I should.
Love more people? Really?
What? You don't believe this?
I don't believe
I'm a
it.
lover. I'm a lover of people. No matter if you got money, whether it don't matter to me.
Says the guy that spent the night in jail for a fight.
It was a misunderstanding.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I was cleared of all charges. I was, man. You should. I was panicking because I didn't want. I was trying to be a lawyer back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My
You've
dad
been a
was-
good lawyer.
I
feel like.
hate. Fuck, man. I
Good
would never
arguing,
want to
you
be a
know?
lawyer.
I don't. I don't know.
Lawyers don't get to argue. They gotta read a book and figure out how to, twist everything. I don't like
haven't
it.
heard a lot of good things about being a lawyer lately either. There's a lot of my friends that are lawyers that are saying that money doesn't come in like it used to. Like for lawyer used to be
Yeah.
a guaranteed 6-figure job.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now it's just work.
Lawyers don't care about people. If you look at a billboard and it says Dan got me $500,000, right?
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
Dan want you to be safe? Does Dan want you not get into a car accident? Does Dan not want
Yeah.
you to lose a fucking hand?
Yeah.
I don't like lawyers that are
Take advantage of people.
scumbags that have changed the world, by the way.
Yeah.
The way we have to live, what we have to say, how we watch. The reason which your kid can't fucking jump on a trampoline in my backyard is because of a lawyer.
Yeah.
That's the shit that's going on. And that's why everyone's educated how to steal money from other people. This whole idea of transferring wealth to the poorest people, it's happening. If you don't have shit, go find a lawyer. He'll figure a way how to sue Walmart. And guess what? That kills society in general. It's not funny. It's not great. That's why when I talk about lawyers, and yes, maybe I've had my own experiences with lawyers. Maybe I'm a little tainted. Maybe there's a pending lawsuit in my life. I'm just saying. Fuck them.
Even with my kids, I've got 2 kids, 3 and 4, and I bought them a Power Wheel. And it goes pretty fast, and the thing weighs about 60 pounds, but it's a 2-seater. And some neighborhood kids came around and were like, can we ride? And at first I was thinking, well, yeah, maybe, sure. And then one of them got in, and my kid started driving, and he tried to get out and ended up rolling. And luckily he didn't get ran over.
Oh, my God.
And then I was like, you know what? I said, all it's going to take is one time, and then these parents are going to own me and my children and my career.
Do you have a umbrella policy?
No.
Why?
Just don't.
How old are you?
34.
Do you have a house?
I do not. No.
Do you have a
renting.
car?
I do have a car.
You're married?
No, divorced.
Oh, that's right, divorce. You have nothing to lose?
Nothing to lose.
Don't worry about insurance.
Yeah.
It's when you have something,
Right.
then you got to get the umbrella policy,
Right, because it'll cover everything.
which is still cheap.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you don't have any money and you get into an accident, this is the lawyer thing. They will just fucking garnish your wage for the rest of your life if they win.
Yeah.
And if your kid rolls another kid over in a little power wagon, it's just as bad as Hulk Hogan's son putting his fucking Corvette into a tree.
Yeah.
You're going to get sued, and your life is never going to change because of lawyers. And they're in the school system. If you got a little kid, how old's your kid?
3 and 4.
Boy?
Boys, both of them.
Yeah, man. You're in deep shit.
Yep.
They can't fucking talk to women. They can't
You're right,
they can't jump on something. They can't rustle on the bus. Zero.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much worse it's going to get unless parents start standing up and saying, fuck you to the school systems. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do what I want to do. Go ahead and sue me, and then let the world figure out how to live cohesively again when nobody has any money to pay for anything or when the school systems go down the hill. Because no teacher wants to be in the school system right now.
No,
None of them.
right.
You can't even touch a kid, pat the kid, hug the kid. If a kid gets away from you, like my wife volunteers taking care of children and still got shit. She don't get paid. She's doing it out of the goodness of her heart.
Yeah.
And it wasn't her. It was one of her coworkers. They had to be put on administrative leave because some other person said they grabbed the kid wrong. The kid was running away. This is the horse shit. This is why comedy should exist everywhere.
Yeah.
This is the only way. I talk about it on stage about my kids.
Yeah.
Not too much anymore because they're out of the system. And I prayed to God for that day. I was so happy when it was over.
Yeah, when they graduated.
But he's in college, and guess what?
Yeah.
Constant shit.
Really?
Constant shit. If you do something wrong, I get it. It's fine. But if you don't do anything wrong and they're looking to sue you, why would you want to function?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that this society, the suburban society, is a lot more tight-assed than the society in New York City. I thought New York City would be a little more tight-assed, a little more concerned about like kidnapping or murder. Kids are running in the streets in New York.
Yeah.
They play in the streets. The school system sets apart a street. They can play in 84th Street on the Upper East Side. That's their playground.
Yeah.
They walk by themselves. The parents are not guiding their ass to the bus like we do down here. If your kid leaves the house and is on his bike, he doesn't come home for 10 minutes, all of a sudden you're tracking his phone, you're flipping out. It's you have to let go. Maybe love your kids a little less. That's the message here.
Yeah, it's healthy.
It is healthy.
Yeah.
All right.
Let them be.
I have to go look at some things. This is a big show. Big show.
The show tonight? Big show tonight?
Of course.
Yeah.
Big show.
You gotta go look over your stuff?
Oh, see, Beth Snyder just texted me. She's here at the show. You know Beth Snyder?
No, who's that?
I don't know if she's still a comic, but she's been a comic here for years.
Really?
But she opened up her, she has an Om factory, like a meditation place where you can relax, baby.
Yeah.
Cool. See, we have a big show.
Yeah.
All week. How are we doing on numbers? Any idea?
Great.
Sounds good.
As far as I know. Yeah.
Good.
Pretty sure. I don't look at the numbers, but
I'm gonna go look.
they haven't showed any concern.
No concern.
No concerns.
I don't know what that looks like.
Just got cold up north, so they're coming down.
Didn't you just sign with? Didn't you something coming up for you? Anything big coming up for you?
I have a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
A lot of
Can you
things
talk
happening.
about them or no?
I mean, I got an apartment in New York City.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're trying to get some more shows. I've done a few. Comic Strip Live, Skinny Bar and Lounge, a couple of good deals at the DoubleTree, like bar nights right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm trying to get with like the Broadway in Gotham and everybody else, and it's a friggin' nightmare to try to get through.
Yeah.
And deal with everybody, just like any comedy club. Try to get through anybody.
Yeah.
The guy that runs the South, basically, that guy that's out of Charlotte. I don't deal with him anymore because I got tired of sending video. I got tired of worrying about, trying to get booked at clubs. But New York has been pretty good now. I got a couple private venues.
Nice.
I have a lot of private shows. That's where, I've been spending a lot of time. But now I'm trying to revamp this entire act so I can do more public stuff.
Right, right.
I don't know if it's going to pay off, but we have, construction school next year. I got 40 seminars. So what I try to do is I book public events along with the construction events that I have.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
But no
Like line up and stuff?
television or nothing cool, man.
Not yet, no.
Just podcasting with everybody up in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of podcasters. A lot of the shows are so cool in the bars because they're in basements.
Right, low ceiling,
Right?
like tight, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lot of work trying to convince people that no matter if you're a pro, look, I think the problem with comedy is too many comedians, number one. How do we get rid of that? Like, you two got to go. And then another problem is the open mic nights that they have that guys are willing to pay money for is sick.
Yeah, yeah.
$5, $10 to perform. Comics don't have money. This is not what bringer shows. You can't bring anybody. You don't know anybody. Nobody wants to come to your show. You're unknown.
Yeah, for an open mic too. Yeah.
It's very difficult for the comics to get stage time right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of funny people.
Yeah.
A lot of funny people, but you got to tie it in with something. Become the dentist comic, become the golf comic, do something.
Right. Yeah.
Then you'll get money. And then you can do shows all over the country.
Right. Find your niche.
But I've been preaching too long.
Tonight or just in general?
All my life I've been telling comics this. All my life. I think it's very important though. If you want to make money and you want to get stage time.
Yeah. Brand yourself in a certain way. Kinda.
Brand yourself for a little bit. Or get the hell out of town and drive.
Right.
Don't concentrate in New York. Don't concentrate in LA.
Hit the road.
Go to the middle America. Really, I mean, that's really the best place because you can get more stage time, less competition, hone your act, but work.
But work, yeah.
Work. Write material. Right, Devin?
I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I saw that one video on Facebook that you do like the construction like flashback to the 80s.
Yeah.
One of them had like 2 million views or something like that.
7.6. I'm sorry if you were
7.6
a little off on
million
that.
views.
7.6.
100% off. Yeah.
That is actually giving me some traction with
That's got
like
to,
I
right?
thought about that. How do you get your own group of people to come out and see you? 53,000 followers on Facebook is not enough. I have that.
No, yeah.
It still is not giving me enough.
Yeah.
YouTube, I have like 5,000.
Yeah.
Not enough. You need 250,000
Yeah.
on YouTube. Those are dedicated people to you.
That are watching every
Yeah.
fucking.
If you had 1 million people on Facebook, that'd be really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm making money off of the videos,
Right.
which is good.
Right.
But as far as getting people to come into the show,
yeah, it's not
very
drawn.
few and far between on that.
Yeah.
And like Vic DiBitetto, he's got it made. He doesn't realize he's got it made because, like everybody else, as soon as you get where you want to be, you want to get to the next fucking level.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
you can't be happy with your, I tried to reach out to him. He don't know me no more. He texts back to me a little bit, but, you could feel the frustration.
Yeah.
You're just looking, I think for comics to help each other, it's important to do it. I try, I don't really have any club connections. That's what most people want.
Yeah.
But I can tell you how to make money.
Right.
You're interested in making some cash or marketing. You won't have to worry about your bills.
That's a good thing.
But as comics moving other comics up the ranks, that is so few and far between. Nobody's helping you.
No.
No one. That's what I said. I love people too much because I do help a lot of people.
Right.
You know, I used to try to book comics with me all the time, or try to get them to write a certain way. Like if they want, like, you know, if you want to try to learn how to do a little bit of corporate work, how to get that work, who to market to.
There is a water cooler around the corner if you need some. Yeah.
It's possible. Yeah, he's got to get ready for his set. I got to get ready for mine.
Yeah, what do you do to prepare? You just go over your set list a little bit?
Yeah, well, this new material stuff is making me
How much time you got? How much new material you got?
I got a lot. I don't know, time-wise, it's probably a good 10, 15-minute chunk.
Right, yeah.
You know, I spent the last... I think this is why I kind of...
I've seen you've been working. I even saw you at a couple open mics just locally, just working it out, you know? Which
trying to work it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's ready now. He's going to be bringing up Devin.
Yeah, I think so.
And how long you doing, Devin?
All right. Thank you for listening to another episode of the podcast. Please go to our website, mccurdyscomedy.com, for all of our upcoming shows, events, and special events. We got a lot of them coming up. Don't sleep on them. And thank you so much for listening. And if you enjoyed Carmen at all, please go to his website, carmenciricillo.com. That's Carmenciricillo. And Devin Seibold, definitely keep track of this guy. He is definitely going to be going to the big stage soon. That's devincomedy.com. DEVINCOMEDY.com. And as always, we appreciate and love every single one of y'all for listening, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.